Teens don't want to talk to their parents. The secret behind your teen's silence. A must-know for every parent. Hello everyone. Today I want to share with you a story that I believe many parents are going through, yet sometimes feel stuck not knowing what to do. It's when your child steps into their teenage years, and suddenly, the door of communication between you and them seems to close. They don't want to talk to you anymore. Is it just because of puberty? Or is there something deeper that we haven't fully understood? I've read a profoundly insightful article from a parenting expert, and I'd like to retell this story with all my sincerity, so we can figure out how to reconnect with our beloved kids. Let's walk through it together, step by step. When two worlds don't see eye to eye. The first thing that struck me from this story is how parents and teens often see things from completely different angles. As parents, we tend to think, oh, it's probably just puberty, my kid's changing, and it'll pass. But our teens have their own thoughts. Very real and honest ones, that we sometimes unintentionally overlook. I find this so important because if we don't understand our kids, how can we step into their world to grow closer? Sometimes their silence isn't just stubbornness, it's a quiet plea for us to listen, to understand them from the heart. Sudden silence, when to sound the alarm. Now, let's pause for a moment and think about this. If your child used to be chatty and open, but all of a sudden goes quiet, doesn't that worry you? It tugs at my heart, because that sudden shift could be a sign of something more serious. Maybe they're being hurt, bullied, or even facing bigger struggles like depression or substance use. I don't want to scare you, but as parents, I think we need to be more attuned to these signals. Don't just brush it off as a small thing. Watch your child. Pay attention to their mental health. And if needed, don't hesitate to seek help from a professional. After all, our kids are the most precious thing we have, right? Why they won't open up, a parent's perspective. I remember once telling a friend, my kid's probably just going through puberty. That's why they're so distant. And my friend nodded right away. We often think their silence comes from hormonal changes, mood swings, or that developing brain making them more impulsive. Then they start turning to friends for advice instead of us. It makes sense. Teens are more sensitive, craving independence. But here's what hit me. When we blame everything on puberty, it's like we're putting all the responsibility on them. I don't think that's fair. They didn't choose for their hormones to go haywire or to grow up in such a challenging way. So instead of just pointing at them, we need to look at ourselves too. Why they close their hearts, the teen's perspective. Have you ever wondered what makes your teen hesitant to talk to you from their point of view? I was honestly surprised when I read these insights, and I want to share them with you from the bottom of my heart. Teens say that sometimes, we parents are the ones building the walls. There are times when we insist, I'm the parent, I'm always right, without really listening to them. Thinking back, I've done that too. As they grow, they start realizing no one's perfect, not even parents. But if we stick to this, you have to listen because I know best, attitude. They feel frustrated, distant, and stop wanting to share. Then there are moments when they open up, and we unintentionally shut them down. Like when they talk about a fight with a friend, and we say, why didn't you do this or that, instead of asking, how did that make you feel? I've realized that when they don't feel respected, they close up, and what really gets to me is when we punish them, taking away their phone, banning Wi-Fi, or controlling them too much, they pull away even more. They don't want to be close to someone who hurts them, even if it's meant to help. Don't you see how our reactions can sometimes push them further away? When silence rings a warning bell, I want to circle back to this because it truly weighs on my heart. If your teen suddenly goes unusually quiet, please be careful. It could mean they're in danger, being abused, bullied, or battling heavy emotional issues. I once heard about a cheerful boy who started withdrawing, And it wasn't until later that his family learned he'd been isolated by friends at school. I thought, if his parents had noticed sooner, things might have turned out differently. So, please, keep an eye on your kids. And don't hesitate to get help if you need it. We can't risk losing them just because we think it'll all be fine. How to reopen the door to connection. Now, I'd love to share some ways that I find truly meaningful to get closer to our teens. First, let's stop blaming puberty. I know it's easier said than done. But saying, "You're acting out because of puberty," is like pushing them away. Instead of scolding, try something gentle like, "I miss our talks. Do you have a moment to chat with me?" Just a soft tone, but I believe they'll feel our love. Then, really listen to them. Don't listen while planning your next words. Focus on them. Ask things like, "I heard you say you don't like being forced to play the piano. Right?" It shows you care, and respect their space too. They're growing. They need freedom to be themselves. When we trust them, they'll open up more. I also love the idea of asking open-ended questions. Like, "What do you think would happen if you did it this way?" It helps them think and shows we value their choices. And instead of punishing, use discipline. Explain why something's right or wrong. Let them help decide the consequences. Lastly, I think family bonding time is so precious. A phone-free dinner where we all talk can make a huge difference. Try it. You'll see them start to share more. Everyone, I truly believe we all want our teens to be happy, to talk to us like friends. But to make that happen, we need to listen, empathize, and change how we approach them. I hope what I've shared helps you rediscover that bond with your child. Because in the end, it's not about their grades or achievements, it's about them trusting us enough to talk anytime. Thank you for listening, and I hope we can all build happier families together.